All right, ducks, we meet again. We're trying to go fishing and these ducks don't seem to want to move. Oh my God, I got fish to catch. Come on. This one has to walk back in the road. I've got some fish to catch and you need to get the hell out of the road. Thank you. Why are you following me? Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. Right now, it's sunset, it's early spring, and my wife and I are gonna try to catch some brook trout out of this small little southern Wisconsin stream. We're just gonna toss some spinners around and hope for the best. Let's see what happens. All right, Michelle's using a white rooster tail spinner. I'm using Panther Martin spinner. And my wife just had a brook trout follow. Now the brook trout we're fishing for in this river, I've never caught a big one, but it's fun getting out and just catching. Oh, there we go. Yep. There we go. Little brook trout. Looks like something grabbed him. There we go. There we go. Interesting. Oh, I had another one. We've had a couple bites, caught a trout. Right now, I'm working along these steeper, little tiny deep holes along the shoreline, and they like to tuck right up underneath all the branches and rocks. This is just a small little stream here in southern Wisconsin that has very limited access. So if you guys are ever planning to trout fish any of these streams in Wisconsin, Minnesota, make sure you know whether or not you're on private property or public land. It's very easy to not know where you are if you don't make sure and get a ticket or a fine. Last year when I was fishing here, I found that these fish would grab the spinner if I was just jigging it down right in front of me, like vertical jigging, which is in another video here on YouTube that I posted. But sometimes you don't even have to cast it and reel it. You can just jig it right in front of you and they'll come out of the rocks and grab it, or out of the logs and the wood. Oh, like that. There we go. Just a little guy, but slimy little guy, but there we go. I caught that one just jigging it in front of me. Very simple, but let's see if we can catch some more. I might have to buy a little tiny trout fishing net for these guys if I come out here doing this. And I might even get a lighter action rod eventually, like a micro light, or maybe like a 5.5 foot ultralight or something. I'm using a 6.5 foot St. Croix light action. And I feel like I want to get a little bit more fight out of these little fish, but hey, we got 2 on the board now. Now my wife has to catch one. You guys ever do this trout fishing in these rivers or these small streams? Make sure you bring a lot of spinners, a lot of little jerk baits like little rapalas, little woolly bugger jigs, little tube jigs, like crappie sized tubes. Because there are a lot of snags and you will break off sometimes and you'll have to retie. You might even lose a few bucks in lures. But that's what goes into fishing rivers and streams. You gotta pay to play. Sometimes you gotta drop that bait right down in their little home and jig it around to get them to come out and bite, and sometimes they'll chase it. I prefer casting and reeling it instead of vertical jigging, but I've never seen a lot of people use spinners that way, and it does work. You guys saw it work just before when I caught that brookie. Hopefully we get a couple larger, more colorful ones before we leave. The biggest one I've ever caught out of here was only like 10 inches, maybe 11 inches. Let's go find my wife and fish a couple other spots before we go. All right, we changed spots. My wife is just gonna sit back and film a little bit because some of these spots are a little bit tighter and a lot more tricky to fish. Right now I'm just trying to jig it in these little deep pools right here. They like to tuck up behind the logs, behind the rocks. Oh, yep. All right, just caught that right along. Beautiful little brook trout. Right now I'm using barbless hooks. I smashed the barbs down on my hooks because that is, well, it's the law this time of the year. This is catch and release only season for trout. Even if it wasn't, I wouldn't be keeping these fish, but you want to take like a needle nose pliers and just smash the barbs down on your hooks so that you can unhook them easier. You don't damage their mouths or their skin too much. But I was just jigging it right down here along this kind of steep bank wall. There's a lot of these man-made rock structures in these trout streams. The DNR here in Wisconsin did a good job maintaining a lot of the habitat, building steeper or deeper holes in these streams to make sure these trout have a lot of places to survive. But right now I'm just taking my spinner. I'll just let the current make it spin by pulling on it, or I'm just dropping it down in all these little crevices, and these trout don't seem to mind at all eating it. So it's a technique I'm definitely going to be using in a lot more locations. But they like to hide right up underneath these steep rock walls and these underneath these branches and logs. And brook trout are related to lake trout. They're very aggressive fish, and they hit a lot of different bait presentations, anything from insects to minnows, worms, anything that crayfish, anything that mimics any of that life underwater is going to catch these brook trout, rainbow trout, brown trout. But out of this particular little stream, I have never caught a rainbow or a brown trout yet. I heard they're supposed to be in here, but I'm a little bit against the fence on whether or not that's true, because I've caught a lot of brook trout and not one rainbow or brown. I'm gonna try down over here, try not to hurt myself. Just found a really nice looking spot right back here. See if I can get my bait down this deep hole through here. Got one. Yep. Really beautiful one. Oh man, this one's beautiful. Well, I just caught this beautiful brook trout right here. Absolutely gorgeous colors. There we go. Caught that one casting the spinner down this deep stretch right here, and that's the biggest one so far today. We caught 4 of them, lost 3 of them. We're getting ready to go right now. I'm gonna take a few more casts, see if I can catch one more. All right, that was a nice little brookie. Beautiful colors on that last one. Not sure I'll get another one or not, but I have a few more little spots down here I'm gonna cast down. Hope for the best. It's getting kind of dark though, so filming's getting a little difficult. All right, everyone, that was a really decent 1 hour of fishing before dark. Beautiful sunset. We have a moonrise right now. If I was out walleye fishing, I'm sure I'd be catching some walleyes right now, but the trout certainly were hungry. I caught 4 or 5 of them, lost a few of them, and I did a combination of things as you guys saw. I was jigging the spinner along the deep holes and all the obstacles, basically, all the fallen trees. And I was casting down the deeper stretches that I could and just reeling that spinner back like you normally do. But I absolutely love this trout fishing. I love just, you know, getting out. It's relaxing. There's not a lot of people around normally. You just got to look at the Wisconsin trout fishing handbook, basically, the regulations, and they tell you where all the trout streams are in Wisconsin in your area. And we have thousands of trout streams in Wisconsin, the driftless region out west. We have streams all over the North Woods. We have streams all over eastern Wisconsin along Lake Michigan. But just get yourself the trout fishing regulation book, find out where your closest trout streams are. Make sure you smash the barbs down on your hooks. Barbless hooks, remember that, because they will ticket you. And I'm gonna have to get a small little net for these fish. I don't like handling them without a net. I don't know why I've never bought a stupid net, but just try to take care of them as much as possible and get them back in the water safely, and we'll have a future to trout fishing. But most of these fish are stocked around our state, but there is wild trout streams like the one I'm fishing right here. And we don't have a lot of brook trout streams in southern Wisconsin, but the ones we do, they're normally wild fish. They get a lot of really beautiful colors on them, stuff like that. But I'm gonna shut up now, get home and eat some dinner. If you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that like button, help the page out. Thank you for watching. Good luck fishing and take care.